Bulldozers ripping through impossible terrain. Operators pulling off moves so insane you'd swear they defy physics. Every push, every tilt, every second is pure adrenaline. Welcome back to Tech Trouble. Stay locked in because the jaw-dropping action you're about to see only gets crazier with every clip. Watch this John Deere bulldozer rip through a farmhouse like it's made of paper. Pure destruction, zero mercy. The bulldozer roars forward, its steel tracks clawing deep into the ground as the massive blade slams into the wall. In one crushing hit, wooden beams snap apart, the roof shakes violently, and decades of construction collapse in seconds. Dust explodes into the air as boards splinter and debris rains down. But the operator doesn't stop for a single heartbeat. With precise, calculated moves, the John Deere pushes deeper, twisting and tearing the frame to pieces. Every shove flattens another section, walls folding like cards as the structure caves in under unstoppable force. The farmhouse is no match. One by one, its walls, roof, and supports are shredded, crushed, and ground into rubble beneath the dozer's tracks. It's raw mechanical power on full display, turning what once stood tall into nothing more than wreckage scattered across the dirt. This isn't just demolition, it's domination. Every thrust of the John Deere proves why these machines are the kings of destruction, where precision meets pure brutality. In minutes, a home that stood for decades is erased from the earth, flattened by the unstoppable power of a John Deere bulldozer. Alice Chalmers' HD7 bulldozer storms into the snow with unstoppable force, ripping a clean path through the frozen ground. Its steel tracks crush the ice while the front blade rolls heavy drifts aside like they're weightless. Guided with precision, the operator maneuvers through trees as this vintage beast proves age means nothing against raw power. Decades later, the HD7 still shows why old-school steel was built to conquer. Volvo EC330 unleashes pure destruction as its hydraulic breaker hammers into solid rock. Each bone-shaking strike rips the cliffside apart, blasting chunks of stone into fragments. The ground trembles with every hit, proof of brute force and surgical precision working as one. What once looked unbreakable is reduced to rubble in seconds. This is raw, heavy equipment dominance in action. On the edge of a steep mountain slope, a massive Liebherr 746 bulldozer grinds its way through unstable terrain. Its wide blade bites into the hillside, pushing tons of loose earth, rocks, and debris straight down the cliff. Every pass sends cascades of dirt tumbling into the valley below, shaking the ground with raw power. The operator holds steady, maneuvering with precision despite the dangerous incline. One wrong move could send the machine sliding, but the dozer's heavy steel tracks grip the rugged ground like claws. The blade carves deep into the slope, stripping layers of soil and rock, reshaping the mountain face with unstoppable force. Dust clouds rise, boulders roll, and the hillside gives way under the relentless pressure of the dozer. Each thrust is controlled destruction, a battle of man and machine against unforgiving terrain. By the end, what once looked like a sheer, uneven slope is transformed into a cleared, leveled cut. Proof of the bulldozer's brute strength and the operator's steady hand. This is heavy equipment operating at the edge of danger, where control, skill, and raw muscle come together to tame the wild landscape.
Heavy machinery under the ocean? Yes, this excavator is working on the seabed like a monster unleashed in the deep. Its hydraulic arm smashes through sand and silt, sending clouds exploding with every strike. The bucket carves and levels the ocean floor with the same raw power it shows on land. A mind-blowing sight, steel and hydraulics conquering the depths where no machine should be.
Volvo EC460 turns a frozen quarry into a battlefield. Its hydraulic breaker slamming massive rocks with bone-crushing force. Each strike echoes across the snow, blasting solid stone into rubble. The ground shakes, fragments fly, and nothing withstands the relentless hammering. This is pure heavy equipment domination. Raw power and precision smashing through winter's toughest terrain. Cat 320 excavator takes the fight straight to a raging river, holding its ground against the pounding current. Its bucket rips massive rocks and debris from the water, each lift clearing blockages and reshaping the riverbed. Waves crash against its steel frame, but the machine refuses to budge, proving unmatched strength and control in brutal conditions. This is heavy equipment versus nature, and the cat comes out on top. River is raging like a beast, water slamming with unstoppable force. Yet right in the middle of it, a Cat 320C excavator stands its ground. Half submerged, its tracks fight the current as the operator swings the bucket with deadly precision. Massive boulders are rigged from the riverbed and slammed into place like armor against the flood. Waves crash, mud churns, but this machine doesn't flinch. It's raw steel versus nature's fury, and the cat is winning the battle. Colossal Laterno loader storms through the mine like a giant on wheels, its bucket swallowing mountains of dirt and rock in one bite. With brutal efficiency, it hoists the load sky high and dumps tons of material into a waiting truck. Each cycle is a jaw-dropping display of muscle and precision, moving earth at a scale no other machine can match. This isn't just work, it's domination, pure heavy machinery at full force. Nothing stands against this bulldozer. It smashes through rock and earth like a wrecking force on tracks. The blade drives deep, tearing obstacles apart and shoving boulders aside while hauling tons of dirt forward. Every push is brute power unleashed, reshaping the ground under unstoppable steel. Vermeer drilling rig rolls off the flatbed with precision, every move guided to perfection. The crew keeps it steady as the massive machine crawls down the ramp, steel tracks gripping with control. One wrong slip could spell disaster, but this is flawless heavy equipment handling, power and precision working as one. Dresser Bulldozer slams into a wall of fallen trees, ripping through timber and brush like nothing stands in its way. Its heavy steel blade shoves stumps, logs, and tangled debris aside, carving a brutal path straight through the forest floor. Dust explodes as the tracks grip deep into the soil, powering forward over rough terrain without a pause. The operator holds perfect control, piling up chaos into order with every unstoppable push. This is land clearing at its most extreme. Brute force and precision proving why the dresser is built for relentless work. One strike, and the log never stood a chance. The Volvo HB03LN hydraulic breaker slams down with crushing force, splintering solid timber like it's nothing. Each hit sends shards flying, proving just how brutally powerful this compact attachment really is. This Volvo excavator battles the river's fury, dropping massive boulders into place to hold back the raging water. Each lift slams down a rock like armor, building a wall of protection along the bank. It's brute force combined with precision. A perfect display of operator skill against nature's chaos. Komatsu excavator takes on a muddy flood zone, ripping into soaked ground with its massive bucket. Each scoop of heavy, wet soil is lifted and hauled to block weak spots, redirecting the raging flow. Mud splashes, water churns, but the operator keeps full control, shaping the land to hold back disaster. This is brute steel versus floodwaters, and the Komatsu is winning. No jungle stands a chance. This Caterpillar D6R XL bulldozer rips the forest apart with unstoppable steel. Its massive blade shoves through earth, roots, and branches, carving a roadway where there was nothing but wild terrain. Each pass levels the ground, towering piles of soil crashing down the slope in front of it. The dozer climbs uneven ground with brute force, dirt flying as the operator holds steady control. Branches snap, roots tear, and the jungle folds under raw mechanical power. In minutes, the wild becomes a clear passage, proof that when the Caterpillar D6R XL moves, nature gets out of the way. This excavator turns a giant boulder into dust, hammering it apart with unstoppable force. The hydraulic breaker slams relentlessly into the stone, each strike blasting dust and shards into the air. Cracks spider across the surface as the rock begins to fracture under the pounding steel. Smoke and debris rise with every hit, proof of the brutal power driving through solid stone.
One wrong move, and this Liebherr 776 G8 bulldozer could plunge off the quarry edge. Perched on a steep slope, it shoves massive rocks and soil forward while tilting dangerously close to the drop. Every push is a test of balance, with thousands of tons of steel holding steady against gravity's pull. This is extreme dozing at the edge, raw power and risk colliding in one breathtaking moment.
Forest Trail shakes as this tractor roars to life, dragging two fully loaded trailers stacked high with logs. The weight is crushing, the ground uneven, but the machine digs in with raw determination. Every turn of its wheels shows unstoppable pulling power, proving it can haul massive loads through rugged terrain without backing down.
I can't believe this is happening. It's pure chaos on the edge.
And there you have it. Bulldozer skills so mind-blowing they almost looked impossible. From carving steep mountainsides to pushing through tons of earth with absolute precision, these operators prove that true mastery is more than just power. It's control, focus, and fearless execution. What you just watched wasn't just heavy machinery at work. It was a showcase of raw human skill combined with unstoppable mechanical force. Every push, every climb, every perfectly measured move showed why bulldozer operators are in a league of their own. But this is just the beginning. Out there, more incredible feats are happening every single day. Machines and operators taking on challenges that seem beyond imagination. And you can bet Tech Trouble will bring you the most extreme, jaw-dropping moments right here. So if you enjoyed this ride into the world of bulldozer dominance, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment on your favorite insane moment, and subscribe so you never miss the next unbelievable compilation. Because on Tech Trouble, we don't just show heavy machinery in action, we show the kind of skills that will leave you speechless. Stay tuned, because the next jaw-dropping moment is always one click away.